It's Thursday, the 12th of November 2015, and I'm back at Newport station in Essex for a walk along Harcamlow Way. A short walk this is, just as far as Saffron Walden. And there's the first footpath of the walk. As I explained, this is a short walk, about 4.5 miles. And that waymark you can see on the footpath sign is a saffron trowel waymarker, and I have posted a video some years ago of the section of the saffron trowel between Newport and Saffron Walden. Up the steps, the path, which is Harcamlow Way, heads across this field. Reasonable view from the path. Over to my right you can see the M11 and the railway. There's a passing cross-country train. Now looking back the way I've come, great views over Newport and beyond. And that beyond is the area where the last section of Harcamlow Way took place. Now following this hedge on the left. At a gap in the hedge, there's a brilliant view over to my left. And there's the path ahead. A couple of sheep in a small field on my left. The path bends left and becomes more enclosed. We're heading towards a road. Still on Harcamlow Way. And there's the path finally descending to the road. The walk takes a path on the other side of the road, which bears right and becomes hedged and heads downhill. The path heads downhill steeply through some pleasant woodland. The path then heads across this field to another belt of trees. Now heading up the other side of the valley. Now on the left hand edge of this field, with tremendous views to my right and back the way I've come looking down that valley. Now following the path along the edge of this wood. After the wood, the path heads between fields with great views ahead. You can still hear the trains from here. Harcamlow Way now heads along beside this hedge. The weather's turning more cloudy and it's getting windy. Further on, splendid views ahead and to the right. The path goes down into a dip. It crosses a ditch over a footbridge in a belt of trees and then goes along here. Still on Harcamlow Way. We now cross this bridge over a ditch. The path goes up a short, sharp bank, joins this wide track where we turn left along here. Now heading along this large hedge with a decent view ahead. Now there's a good view looking back the way I've come, and the wind seems to have dropped a bit. The walk now comes to the main B1052 road. It goes up to the right for a few yards to that footpath ahead there. We turn left along that. Now heading away from the road along this delightful path, and the clouds seem to have dispersed, as you can see. And here's the continuation of the path. Harcamlow Way now comes to this road and takes the track directly opposite. Now heading along the very pleasant track. Now heading along beside this wall. We seem to be back on the Saffron Trail at this point, and the walk goes over that bridge. We now come to the road ahead, where Harcamlow Way turns right for about 300 yards, and the wall you can see is that surrounding the grounds of Audley End House. Heading up the road beside the wall surrounding Audley End House and grounds. The walk turns left off the main road through these gates. Further on, great views open up, and even some autumn colours, although most of the leaves are down now. That's Harcamlow Way ahead. Further along the path there's a view over Saffron Walden, which we're rapidly approaching. Nearly the end of the walk. Now on the edge of Saffron Walden, Harcamlow Way heads along this road. Harcamlow Way now turns left along this main road, right in Saffron Walden. There's a view of the church in Saffron Walden. Harcamlow Way now turns right up there, Castle Street. At this crossroads, Harcamlow Way continues ahead along that lane, but I'm going to leave Harcamlow Way here to head into Saffron Walden for the bus. Here's a view of the market square in Saffron Walden. Now at the bus stop in Saffron Walden, and the end of today's walk along Harcamlow Way.